everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Spooky, welcome. And today we're doing a little birthday video. Today, as of posting this, it is April 20th, 420, so if you celebrate it, have a great celebration, do an extra puff for me, as I live in a state where it's illegal. But if you do not, it is also my birthday. I really wanted to do something fun today. I wasn't sure what to do because there are a lot of things popping up with the David case, but I wanted to sit down and actually chunk through everything. And today the day of posting, they were supposed to do a massive conference, so I wanted to wait until they did that conference just to get a little bit more information and possibly see if those medical records have been released. So yeah, we're doing something else. We're talking about a couple of these unidentified cases. Some of these cases still remain unsolved for decades, some have partial answers, and some still leave a lot of more questions than facts. So we're gonna just dive on into it. As always, links for everything are down below. Recently, I've had people ask me to add other ways to monetarily help me, so I've left a few down below if you are so inclined. If not, please don't. It's not required. But yeah, I wanted to put that out there just in case, or you can super thanks the video or something of that nature. Yeah, this weekend I'm actually gonna go on a ghost hunt. I'm gonna take a little bit of me time this weekend and go on a ghost hunt, so it'll be a lot of fun for all of that, because I don't really celebrate my birthday all that much, but I'm trying this year. We'll try something different, right? Like try something new and different. Okay, so enough of my blathering on. I'll probably do a little more at the end. So grab your coffee, please grab a blanket and snuggle on in as we talk about some of the cases that the truth is still a little bit out of reach. In November of 1970, hikers in the Isdal Valley near Bergen, Norway, made a discovery that would become one of the country's most famous mysteries. They found the burned remains of a woman. Her body was so badly damaged and surrounded by items that have also been burned. Personal belongings, clothing, and other objects that appeared intentionally destroyed. Now, investigators quickly realized this was no accident. What made the case even stranger was what they discovered next. At a nearby train station, police located 2 suitcases believed to belong to this woman. Inside were wigs, clothing, and false passports. Each passport carried a different name, but the photographs were all of the same woman. It was clear that she had been living underneath multiple identities. Inside one of the suitcases, investigators found coded notes. Now, these notes appeared to track her travels across Europe, using numbers and symbols that intentionally made little sense. Eventually, authorities did decode them, and they revealed a pattern: cities, dates, movements, almost like a travel log written in code. Witnesses later came forward saying they had seen the woman in several locations across Norway and Europe. Many described her as elegant, well-dressed, and cautious. Some remembered that she spoke multiple languages. Others say that she frequently changed her appearance. Even stranger though, hotel staff reported that she often requested rooms facing parking lots or entrances, giving her clear visibility of who was coming and going. So investigators began to wonder, was she a spy? During the Cold War era, Norway held strategic importance, particularly due to military installations, and some investigators suspected that the woman had been monitoring these sites. But despite years of investigation, her true identity was never confirmed. No family came forward, no official records matched her identities, and even decades later, the Isdal woman remains unidentified. To this day, her case continues to raise 2 haunting questions. Who was she, and why was she living so many lives? December 1st, 1948, the body of an unidentified man was discovered on Somerton Beach in Australia. At first glance, the scene didn't appear violent. The man was very well dressed, wearing a suit and polished shoes, and showed no obvious signs of injury. He appeared to be resting, but he was already dead. Authorities quickly noted something strange. All identifying labels had been removed from his clothing, and not just cut, but carefully removed. There was no wallet, no identification, and no explanation for who he was or how he arrived there. An autopsy revealed no clear cause of death. Toxicology reports suggested poison might be involved, but no specific substance was ever identified. Then came the detail that would make this case famous. Hidden in a small pocket sewn into the man's pants was a tiny rolled piece of paper. On it were the words, Taman Shud. This phrase means ended or finished in Persian. Investigators traced the paper to a rare book, and eventually they located a copy of the book believed to belong to the man. Inside the back cover were a series of letters written what appeared to be code. To this day, the code has never been definitely solved, and for decades, the Somerton man's identity remained unsolved. Then in 2022, after more than 70 years, modern DNA testing finally provided an answer. Authorities identified him as Carl Webb, an engineer from Melbourne. Even with the name, many questions still remain. Why were the clothing labels removed? Who wrote that weird coded message? And what really caused his death? Even with modern technology, the Somerton Man remains one of the history's most haunting mysteries. January of 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, California. She was traveling alone, documenting her trip online, and communicating regularly with family back home. At first, everything seemed normal, but after several days, her parents noticed something concerning. She had stopped contacting them. Now, hotel staff would later report unusual behavior. Guests had complained about her actions in shared spaces, and she eventually moved into a private room, and then she vanished. Days passed with no sign of Elisa, and police began searching the hotel but found nothing, until surveillance footage was revealed. The photo showed Elisa inside one of the hotel elevators, and what viewers saw would spread quickly across the internet. Inside the elevator, Elisa behaved in ways many described as strange. She pressed multiple buttons, peeked into the hallway, stepped in and out of the elevator repeatedly, and at times she appeared to be speaking to someone who was not visible to the camera. Then suddenly she exited the elevator and disappeared from view. That video sparked widespread speculation. Weeks later, hotel guests would start to complain about water pressure and strange tasting water with weird smells coming from the pipes. Maintenance workers were sent to inspect the rooftop water tanks, and inside one of them, they found Elisa's body. The official ruling determined her death to be accidental drowning, and investigators concluded that Elisa had likely entered the tank herself during a mental health crisis. Still, many people continue to question aspects of this case and those findings, particularly how did she access the rooftop without the alarm sounding, and how did she enter the tank and close the latch behind her? While answers possibly exist, the mysteries surrounding her final movements continue to spark discussion to this day. July of 2014, 28-year-old Lars Mittank traveled from Germany to Bulgaria with friends for a vacation. Everything seemed normal up until the final days of the trip. Lars became involved in a minor altercation with other tourists. Shortly afterward, he began complaining about ear pain and anxiety. Doctors advised him to not fly immediately due to a possible ear injury. His friends did return home, but Lars stayed behind, planning to travel alone once cleared by doctors. That's when his behavior began to change. According to reports, Lars became increasingly paranoid. He told his mother over the phone that he felt unsafe and believed someone was following him. On July 8th of 2014, Lars arrived at Varna Airport. Surveillance footage captured what would become the final known moments of his life. While waiting inside the airport, Lars appears nervous and unsettled. He abruptly left his belongings behind and ran out of the terminal. He ran across the airport grounds, scaled a fence, and disappeared into a nearby wooded area. He has never been seen alive again. Despite extensive searches, no confirmed trace of Lars has ever been found. No body, no confirmed sightings, and no explanation. His disappearance remains one of Europe's most baffling missing person cases, and even now, years later, investigators are still searching for answers. Some mysteries are solved with time, others remain frozen in uncertainty, just waiting for answers that may never come. The Isdal Woman still has no confirmed identity. The Somerton Man does finally have a name, but unfortunately, there are other still unanswered questions, mainly about his death and more. Elisa Lam's case continues to spark massive discussions online, not only of mental health, but also of something more haunting about the Cecil Hotel. And Lars remains missing to this day. Cases like these remind us that not everything ends in clarity, and sometimes the mystery itself is just what remains. I hope you all enjoyed this. It was so much fun to dive into this. It's a very quick overview of some of these more baffling cases, and I kind of wanted to do something a little shorter and a little, not fun, I guess is the wrong word, but a little more, I don't know, just something more interesting, I guess, sometimes than diving into sad murder cases all the time. So with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. There's a multitude of different links and so down below. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one. Stay spooky, my friends.